This tutorial is an overview of the Pewaukee School District Network and the system structure and the structure of our files. This will help you know where to save and locate files and applications on the network. Once you've logged in using your username and password that was given to you, you should see this ZenWorks window that automatically opens up. This is where you will see applications that you can access. These are just icons that are shortcuts to different applications and web links. So for instance, if you needed to quickly get to the Board of Education policy manual, you could double click on this link. This is for the Build Your Own Curriculum warehousing application that we use to keep all of our curriculum revisions. If you needed to get into your grade book, this Educator Access, it's just a quick link, double click the icon, and these will take you to different applications that are either located on our network or are linked to the internet. If you double click on computer on the desktop, that will take you to the file structure. You can see here we have different file structures. The hard drive, this is local to this particular computer. Does not transfer across the network. We ask that you not store anything on the local C drive of any of your computers, whether you have a desktop and or a laptop computer. Should you choose to save files to the local drive or to the desktop, just please note that they may be lost if the IT department needs to service or re-image your computer in any way. So we can't guarantee that we'll be able to back up the files, so it's always a good idea to store files in multiple locations, but please know that if you do choose to save files on the C drive or the desktop, you may run the risk of losing the files. Should your computer have a removable device, such as a DVD or CD drive, that will be located there as well. And then there are several network storage applications that you have available to you. The two that I'm going to really talk about are the J drive and the K drive. Your J drive is your personal space on the network. You are the only one that has access to that. Your username will be to the left, and in parentheses to the right you'll see J drive. If I double click on that, then you'll see the file structure underneath that. These are folders that I've created and have put things inside that. I am the only one that has access to this, and so no one else can access these files. So if you have something that you need to keep confidential and you know that you're the only one that needs to have access to it, you can create folders in your J drive by right-clicking in an open space, going down to New, and creating folder. And then you can save information or files inside folders and subfolders that you create. The shared drive says shared to the left and K in parentheses. This is shared space for staff across the district. Students do not have access to the shared drive. So you can see there's some different folders, and based on your location and the type of employee that you are will determine the access to the subfolders that you have on the shared drive. But each teacher has access to at least one folder for their school. For instance, if you're a middle school teacher, this MS folder you would have access to, and if you click on that, it drills down to the subfolders that you would have access to for shared files. So for instance, if your team, if you're on a PLC team and your team is wanting to share a file and all of you have access to that, you could place it in one of these shared folders. So if I go back to the shared drive by clicking on this shared structure on the left-hand side, again, if you're at the high school, this HS would be yours. HE is Horizon, and ES is for PLE. Actually, they have two, PLE and ES, but I believe this is where they keep the majority of their information. So again, really the two structures or areas, network areas that you would use the most would be your personal J drive space and this shared space. Now that we are a Google Apps for Education district, most teachers are sharing files and resources via their Google Drive. It's just a little bit easier to share and collaborate that way, but a lot of people are still saving files on the network. So again, these two areas are where you would share, save and store information and access information if you want to store it on our local networked servers. I'm going to minimize this. So for instance, if you were to create a Word document and wanted to save it on your personal space on the network, if you create the document and then go to File, Save, when that window opens up, it's going to ask you to name the document, but up here in the top, it's going to ask you where you want to put it. And so if you drop down here, not sure why that. Let me see what happens here. Oh, I can just use this here. So if I click on this J drive, then I can see, well, I want to save it in this budget folder that I've created. And so then I could save it as test and click save. And now that's going to be saved into my J drive in that budget folder. If I wanted to save a copy on the shared drive, I can go to File, Save As, click on Shared. And if I wanted to put it in the IT folder, which the other IT team members have access to, I can double click and put it in that budget folder and save it there. So that's how to save a file into those two different network structures.